To get started, we'll clone the repository from GitHub into a local folder called Fastly Log Analytics Demo and change into it. Since I'm on Mac OS, I'm using Kollima to provide the container runtime. Kollima is a free, open-source tool, a lightweight alternative to Docker Desktop that spins up the lightweight Linux VM that containers need. By default, it runs the Docker engine, so the standard Docker and Docker Compose commands just work against it. Now we spin up the whole stack with Docker Compose, backend, front-end, the local DuckDB and Iceberg layer, and a Caddy reverse proxy out front. The build flag makes sure dependencies are compiled fresh. When the build is complete, we simply open localhost in our browser, and there's the app, running entirely on our machine. On first run, we add a service. Add service brings up the Select Your Role screen with three options. Admin, Provision, deploys brand new Fastly resources. Admin Connect Terraform, wires up a service you already manage in Terraform. And Analyst Join, connects to an existing project as an analyst. We start with Provision, the path that creates brand new Fastly resources. The wizard needs a Fastly API token. Since provisioning creates resources like the CDN service, it has to be a super user token and a personal token if we want next-gen WAF signals. Paste it, click Fetch Services. It instantly lists every service on the account. We pick one and continue. Everything here is pre-filled from the service we picked, so you could just click Continue, but let's walk through it. Up top, Logging Setup. Endpoint Name is the label for the endpoint we add to your service. Fastly Object Storage Region is where your object storage bucket lives. We recommend US East. Bucket name is auto-generated, since it has to be globally unique across Fastly. Log period is how often Fastly writes log files. Shorter means fresher data, but more files and cost. Edge only sets whose view we capture. Turn it off to also get shield and origin fetch timing. Sample rate is the percentage of requests we log. Dial it down on high-traffic services to cut cost proportionally. And optional log condition is a small VCL expression to skip traffic you don't care about, like static assets. Next, the CDN performance front stands up a Fastly service in front of the bucket, so dashboard reads are fast and cached. The domain prefix is derived and already confirmed available. Origin shield is the Fastly POP between the edge and the bucket. It defaults to our storage region. Finally, automation, all on by default. Background sync pulls new log files into a local buffer. Auto-delete raw logs drops the original gzips once they're safely in Iceberg. The cloud commit interval is how often that buffer flushes to the shared Iceberg table, 5 minutes by default. More frequent means fresher shared data, but more snapshots, another cost lever. And daily Iceberg optimization runs nightly to keep cloud storage cheap. So on a high-volume service, your cost levers are all right here. A longer log period, a lower sample rate, a log condition, a less frequent commit interval. Otherwise, the defaults are sensible. Just click Continue. If the service has a next-gen WAF workspace, we link it here for WAF signals and verified bot data, which also unlocks the WAF log fields next. No workspace? We skip. Now we choose what to capture at the edge. Not just one switch, but families of fields, each lighting up a different part of the app. Geo fields power the maps, network quality fields drive the network page, TLS fingerprint and WAF fields feed security, cache and origin fields feed performance. Presets give a solid starting bundle, or expand any group to toggle individual fields, with estimated bytes per line updating as you go, so richer data is always a deliberate cost choice. We'll pick a preset and continue. The last screen is a full review. Target service, CDN front, bucket, automation, and even which automated insights our fields unlock. We could export all of this as Terraform, but let's deploy. While that runs, here's what's happening. Capturing these fields means generating VCL and wiring it into your service across the request lifecycle, collecting data and timing at the exact stage each value is available. TCP and quick round-trip metrics, origin and shield fetch timing, byte counts, retries, and more. And it does it safely. You can watch it live. It runs a pre-flight check, creates the bucket with a temporary key, then swaps in a permanent least privilege scoped key, stands up the CDN fronting service and validates its VCL, then clones our service, attaches the logging endpoint and capture VCL, and activates it. Anything fails, it rolls the whole thing back automatically. Production is never left broken.
Need something specific, like a custom header or app ID? Custom fields can be added later from admin. One expectation to set: logs won't appear instantly. The new VCL version takes about a minute to propagate, then a few more before logs actually flow. And we only capture real traffic, so the service needs requests, or send a few yourself, before anything shows up. Once logs land in object storage, ingestion picks them up automatically. And done.